was a little death, doom, and destruction. How about we talk real time? So, America was founded on agriculture. That part was true. But dicamba is not harming anybody, especially babies. What? When you think about agriculture, what do you think about? You think about sun, photosynthesis, planting, harvesting. But what's in between? Well, one of the things that farmers have a hard time controlling are their pests. And your typical pests are going to be weeds and insects and disease. Well, one of those can be controlled with the use of dicamba, and that one is weeds. Farmers use dicamba in order to control the weeds in their field in order to produce higher yields. And with higher yields, you get more product. So your corn, your soybeans, you get more whenever you use your dicamba. And that helps the rest of America in terms of having food to eat and having more to export. You're probably thinking, I'm not a farmer. Why do I care about this? Well, you should. And that's because there are some issues that can be associated with the use of a herbicide. Whenever herbicides are used, there is always the chance of drift or volatilization, or also runoff. And runoff, the product goes out of the fields and into the clean water supplies like rivers and streams, etc. But when used properly, these issues rarely occur. Things work differently in every state, but in Illinois, having worked at an ag retail company, Illinois, you can only apply dicamba in wind speeds at boom height between 3 and 10 miles per hour. And once having the product in, say, a tanker, a mini bulk, or an applicator, you must use a triple rinse procedure, which means you have to rinse the entire, everything that the dicamba touched at least 3 times with pure water before you can consider it safe to use. Now, whenever you don't use the triple rinse procedure, you will have issues with dicamba traveling onto the fields that you don't want it to. And whenever this happens, you will see signs like leaf cupping, which can also end up being associated with lower photosynthesis rates, which in the long run means lower yields. If you apply in winds greater than whatever the wind speed is set to in your area, you can have issues with drift. And you will see the same types of cuppage and lower yields potentially whenever your dicamba drifts onto somebody else's field if they are not using dicamba-ready products. Now, I know that not all of you are farmers, and some of this may rarely apply to most of you, but still you find yourself asking, well, what can I do? Whenever you see something on the internet or get new information or see somebody's rant post on Facebook, keep in mind they could have just had a bad day. There is always the chance that what you are reading is falsified information. Get your information on these products straight from chemical companies or places that distribute them or apply them. Don't listen to just Joe Schmo because somebody cut in front of him in traffic and now he's ranting about the first thing that he can think of. It's very important to consider your sources and know who's talking and who knows what they're talking about. Always check your resources and make sure that they are accurate and distributing good information. If you know a little bit more about dicamba, fact check me, because that's what you're supposed to do. But you don't have to take it from me. Take it from these guys.